Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In this video, we're gonna be showing you the very simple steps of how to service or replace your fuel filter in a second generation 1999 to 2004 Lightning. The fuel filter we are gonna be using today is a Motorcraft unit, and the part number is FG986B as in boy, and I'll leave a link for this one to our website down in the video description. What you don't see here, you don't see our drain pan or bucket, you don't see microfiber towels, but you will need some safety glasses, and I do have some inexpensive fuel line disconnect tools, so you will have to have those in order to complete this. So like I said, this process is real simple, so we'll go ahead and get this thing on the lift and get started. All right, for starters, here in the engine bay, on the back side, on the fuel rail of the passenger side of the engine, you'll see a Schrader valve. You'll loosen and remove the cap, and then what you'll do is you'll hold your towel in position, take a flat bladed screwdriver or something equivalent, like a pick, cover the Schrader valve, and then push down. You'll hear it kind of make a like pressure release, and I usually hold this for a few seconds, 5 or 10. And what this is doing, this is releasing any of the fuel pressure in the lines. That way when we go to pull the fuel filter or remove the lines from the fuel filter, we don't get splattered with fuel. Now the fuel is still gonna run out of the lines, obviously. We're not emptying the fuel lines. All we're doing is relieving pressure. And then when I'm done, I go ahead and put the cap back on it, that way I don't forget. Now we just did an oil change in the truck, so the lift is already positioned where we need it. This having the side exit exhaust on the passenger side, it can be tricky. Just obviously you don't want to put a lift arm up into your exhaust. You know, you could cause some damage. But if you're working off a jack stand, this one's pretty easy. You know, you'll just support the truck, at 4 corners, recommended by the owner's manual, with some good quality jack stands. Okay, so here's your fuel filter. You have 2 safety clips on either side of it. And the way you release these, you just take your finger and you pull it towards the filter, like that. Kind of bring it out of position. Position it away from the filter. You'll do the same for the other one. Like I said, you'll pull towards it. Slide it back, and then this is when we'll use our disconnect tools and release the springs. So 3/8. So there's your tool. You'll pull it towards, away from the filter, and these can be tricky. So you'll kind of have to oscillate it and turn it because these can get kind of stuck. Okay, ours is loose. I'll just position the pan underneath it, and then we'll pull the fuel line off and then hold it over our bucket. Like I said, we weren't emptying the fuel lines when we were depressing the Schrader valve. We were relieving pressure. There's a difference. And now if you're counting your dollar signs dripping down to your pan, sure. If you wanted to capture this, put it back in your truck, you could. I'm not micromanaging it. Now we'll do the same thing for the other side. We'll position our fuel line disconnect tool, push it out away from the filter. Like I said, you may have to kind of rock it back and the line back and forth a little bit to get it to come free. And this one's a weird one to get to just because of the position. It's right there behind that evap line. Okay, so when I pull this one off, I'm gonna slide it back on so it slows the rate at which the fuel drains. We can still pull, we're still ready to go. I'll just put it back on the filter. That way it slows or doesn't just keep running out. Okay. Pull our line off. Okay, so our fuel is still draining. The way you get the filter out of the bracket is you'll kind of walk it towards the front of the truck a little bit. Roll back on the bracket here. And then you can go either front, you can bring it out the front, toward the front of the truck, or the back of the truck, whichever is easiest for you. All right, now on your new filter, there's gonna be an arrow. That's the direction of the flow. It's gonna go towards the front of the truck. So now we'll reinstall or reposition the new filter into place. So you can go either way you like. Maybe easiest if you go the direction you came. You might have to roll back on the bracket a little bit. And you just pull it down and then pull it till the lip right here bottoms out with that little tab on the bracket. Now we can reposition our fuel lines back into place till you hear an audible click. Pull back on it, make sure it's engaged. Do the same for the line at the front of the filter. So same thing here, you'll push till you hear an audible click. Pull back, we're good. All right, now we can get our drain pan out of the way. You can just wipe up the area, wipe the filter off. Just do some general cleanup right here. Okay, and then on your safety clips, you're gonna bring these back towards the filter. All right, see those little hooks? They're gonna hook on the underside of the fuel line, and you're just gonna push down. Or actually, you're just gonna push in any direction for it to snap back onto the fitting. Just like that. You do the same for the other one. A little bit tighter working area over here, just because of the other lines and components. Okay. Fuel filters back in place, our safety clips are secured. Now we can just give everything a general wipe over. All right, folks, so that's gonna complete the process or procedure for changing the fuel filter on your second generation 1999 to 2004 Lightning. Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward process. You need very few tools, very few supplies. Just pay attention, be safe, you know, when you lift the truck, all that good stuff. Just make sure you wear some eye protection since you're working, you know, with fuel. You don't want that splashing in your eyes or anything like that. As always, if you found value in the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do for all things second generation 99 to 04 Lightning. Keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.